provide assistance to the Thieves Guild. I do hope our arrangement continues.
There's blood in this purse. We work in a cistern. How much is it to ask to keep things clean? Wish everybody was making the same effort. Let's see what you got. Not bad. It's yours. Plus a little extra for the effort. Eva, Zira needs you in the den. Said she has something for you. Something about a bastard who forced silver claw from his own warehouse. Cash, I think. Some fancy pantalooned merchant lord who might be after the guild's old rackets. Zira's in the den. Don't keep her waiting. Haven't heard the name before Zira said it. Some new merchant lord trying to make a name, but don't they all? Used to be, the Thieves Guild knew every move the merchant lords made. Sad times, sad times. Like herons we did. Our old guildmaster was a master at keeping their attentions on each other. Made it easier to slip our heads into their pockets. Oh, Nicholas. The next 5 drinks are to your memory. Bunch of jumped-up bandits, if you ask me.
Buy locally, walkers.
Finally! Over here! The Great Mage needs to speak to you.
Gods, what a
Finally!
mess.
Over
What a
here!
frightful
The Great
mess.
Mage
Why do
needs to
people
speak
read
to
this
you.
nonsense? He came to her with his... Oh, well that's colorful. Mara's mercy, what a waste of paper. The cane and the something. Something... It's fiction. Useless. But it's still part of our heritage. We have to keep it safe. The Daedra have been torching every book they can find. All except one. It's a tome of some kind, kept locked away. I have no idea, but it must be important. I tried to get Sergianis, the chief archivist, to smuggle it out for me, but he bungled the job and got himself captured. He'll no doubt need rescuing. Start with the book, though. It's in a strongbox nearby. quite a view. I hate... I'm Well, yes.
Finally! Over here! The Great Mage needs to speak to you. Finally! Over here! The Great Mage needs to speak to you. Finally! Over here! The Great Mage needs to speak to you.
Brought more mead.
I expected sorrow and despair, but the situation here goes beyond even my prophetic inklings. On the surface, yes. But peace through tyranny provides false harmony. Euraxia uses fear and threats of violence to keep the Khajiit in line, making them second-class citizens in their own province. It appalls me to think Euraxia and I are related. It would be better if I showed you. Follow me, and I'll demonstrate the true depths of my half-sister's villainy. Her grip on Rimmen is far tighter than it appears. Information adds weapons to our arsenal, but if you're in a hurry, who am I to complain? Head up to the palace and I'll meet you inside.
Euraxia's guests now.
I don't like the looks of these meddlers. I say we feed them to the dragons and be done with it.
So you're Abner Tharn's bodyguard and valet. Not what I expected. I assume you want to follow your master into the Queen's inner sanctum, huh? I'll allow it. But first, I want to gauge the measure of your marrow. I am Queen Euraxia's chief necromancer. You may call me Zumog Foom. The other grave callers answer to me. And this is my familiar and confidant, Sir Cadwell the Betrayer. Ah, yes. The Betrayer saw you when it looked through the soul-shriven's eyes. The creature you know is a pale shadow of the dark night that once walked these lands. I exhumed his remains and reanimated him. Well, his head... it was all I could find. My actions don't concern you. I just wanted to meet Abner Tharn's lackey and determine if Queen Euraxia had anything to fear. The answer is quite clear. Your insignificance rivals that of the soul-shriven fool, which makes you eminently forgettable.
Now about the rest of my body, O pestilent one.
Your insults won't hasten the process, betrayer.
But there's a terrible draft in what used to be my nether regions.
Presenting Abner Tharn, Grand Chancellor and Overlord of Nibene, Imperial Battle Mage of the Elder Council, and Patriarch of the Tharn Dynasty, and his bodyguard.
Ah, half-brother. Your arrival, it's so unexceptional.
Pretending to be a queen is...
Hush, Abner, you bore me. Bodyguard, you look interesting. Come talk to me.
You heard her. Good luck.
My sources indicated that my half-brother's associate was somewhat taller. Oh well. Now, why in the world should I even consider negotiating with members of the losing side? A warning? How thoughtful. You do know that I defeated the Khajiit army and took control of the Rimmon throne? I am no one's puppet, I assure you. But why do you suppose I have anything to do with dragons? Sweet talk? From an associate of my half-brother? I'm flattered. Shall we retire to the dungeons? We'll engage in the most interesting activities, you and I. You'll positively beg for mercy right up until the end, and then I'll give you to Foom. Do not attempt to sway me with your silver tongue. Mulamnir and I have a special relationship. An understanding. The dragons will secure my hold over elsewhere, and there's nothing you or my pathetic half-brother can do to stop them. Enough! Zumog Foom, what news do you bring?
The Desert Wind Adaptorium has fallen. We move against Riverhold on your word.
Then the word is given. Now, half-brother.
Treachery? How could I ever have anticipated this?
Guards, take them to the dungeons.
I think not.
Finally! Over here! The Great Mage needs to speak to you.
Well, I suppose that could have gone better. I prepared for Euraxia's probable betrayal. Unfortunately, my teleport spell wasn't quite able to penetrate the palace wards, so we wound up down here, in the palace sewer. We heard two things of note. First, Euraxian forces have invaded the Desert Wind Adeptorium for some insidious purpose. And second, my vile half-sister ordered an attack on Riverhold. One thing at a time, my companion, one thing at a time. I need to recover my strength after teleporting us into this skeever hole. I'll need your help to get out of here. Then we can deal with both Desert Wind and Riverhold.
Traitors!
The way out, finally. I can't abide another moment in this stench.
Finally! Over here! The great
Well,
mage needs to speak.
That's an experience I won't be adding to my memoirs. We'll separate here. Make it harder for Euraxia's lackeys to follow us. Now. Things actually turned out better than I expected. We know that Euraxia wants something from the Desert Wind Adeptorium, and we know she's about to launch a counter-strike against Riverhold. That's not exactly true. If my power wasn't depleted... Well, let's not digress. I'll go to Riverhold and warn Garishri. We'll make sure the city is ready for the attack. Meanwhile, you find out what's happening at the Desert Wind Adeptorium. Adeptoriums serve the same function as monasteries in other parts of Tamriel. Desert Wind and its adepts follow the order of Jean Kaj. It's west of here, on the northern lip of the scar. Look for a side entrance if the main door is blocked.
Good thing you stopped General Sarian. Bad about Tanta's son.
Seal the gates. Let no Euraxian enter this holy place.
Finally! Over here! The Great Mage needs to speak to you.